Hello retro gamers and welcome to a new episode of Sunday Quickie. If you're new around these parts, then all you need to know about Sunday Quickie is that A, it needs to be filmed on a Sunday, and usually is. It actually is a Sunday today. B, there needs to be no script. This is just words vomiting out of my mouth directly into the microphone for good or worse. C, low production values, which is just what you want on a Sunday. And D, a retro gaming subject that we can all look at and delve into together. It's supposed to be a bit of a talking heads, off the cuff sort of dealio. I find subjects that aren't really, they may not really fit for a proper video, but they're cool enough that I at least want to bring them to your attention. So today we are checking out a fan remake of the original Ape Escape on PlayStation. This game right here. I am a huge fan of this game, and I have mentioned this before, but you may know that I don't like to do game reviews of those that were significant in my childhood, if that makes any sense. I feel like nostalgia can be quite blinding to just, if I just can't do a fair review that way. But I am happy to talk about this game as long as you're okay with me gushing over it and, it not being a review as such. So anyway, let's check out the landing page for the project. So this project is on itch.io, and I must say, I should have talked about this a very long time ago. I put it in a document on my phone when I first heard about it, which must have been near Christmas time, I think. Not exactly sure what the source of me finding out about it was, but for one reason or another, I just haven't made a video about it. So I'm very sorry to the developer. I should have talked about this months ago, but better late than never. So with that out of the way, let's crack back into it. So as we can see, Ape Escape Remake, in brackets, fan game. And then in cap locks, we have a couple of paragraphs just saying like, hey, this is a free fan game that I've made in my spare time as a fan. Please don't sue me, which I think is fair enough. I can just read it verbatim. This fan remake is based on the classic PlayStation 1 game Ape Escape, a 3D platformer where the player traverses several different environments to capture monkeys who have gone back in time and are causing trouble everywhere. This was created as a challenge to see how an Ape Escape would look if it was created for today's consoles like the PlayStation 5. So it's basically like a new gen remake. And I've looked at a couple of these sort of projects before in the past. Like I think the very first video I made for the Sunday Quickie series was about Driver 2, another massive game from my childhood. And I've also the Indiana Jones as well, right after I reviewed the OG. So that was kind of a nicely timed couple of videos. But today, it's Ape Escape. So this runs on the computer. He has developed it using Unreal Engine, and it can be controlled with a keyboard, but I would recommend using a controller. So I personally used an Xbox 360 controller, and if you know anything about Ape Escape, it came out in 1999, and they basically produced it as a means to spruce, the brand new analog dual stick controller for the PlayStation. And it's really like, it really utilizes both sticks to play the game properly. So yeah, I would highly recommend using a dual stick controller of some sorts. And in my experience, the 360 controller did absolutely fine. So as I said, it is a free download, kind of big, about 700 megabytes, which is a lot for, I guess, just one level, essentially, which is what this is, by the way. You can probably tell by the screenshots, but it is the opening level if you are familiar with the game. And here are some credits here, so might as well read these out. Credit due. Ape Escape logo by TechGek. Music by Turret3471. The model for Spike, who is the main character you play, plus the models for the Time Net and the Stun Gun, or Stun Club, I should say, were by a user named Quiet Art. The voiceover of Spike was by Cratchit. Cratchit. Hopefully I'm saying these names correctly. Apologies if I'm not. And the model of the monkey was by a user called MathPaula28. So, have I actually mentioned the main guy who's making this? I don't think I have. So he's Yaya Danboos. I think that's how it's supposed to be said. Yaya Dan. I'm just going to call him Danboos for short because I don't think I'm saying that correctly. But anyway, if you look at his page, he has created a few projects already. So there's something there that's Zelda inspired. There's a Pepsi Man inspired game called Soda Man. It's pretty cool. I might actually check that out. And a puzzle game called Mom, I Can't Find It. This is his YouTube channel. All these links will be down in the description below if you want to follow them yourself. You see here he's got a couple of gameplay videos, and yeah, as we can see, the video he's released about this is 6 months old. So again, apologies about that. He's also got a couple of tutorials for Unreal Engine that he's released, so that's pretty cool. And here is his Twitter. And as you can see, he's the lead game designer at a developer called UniVRS Incorporated. I think that's how you say that, but yeah, very cool. Based in Tokyo, Japan. So that's the background. Without further ado, let's check out the actual game itself. So straight away, they developed the title screen fairly faithfully to the OG. It's kind of funny this is here though, because these buttons don't actually do anything. Only starts the game. Continue, I mean, it doesn't really make any sense anyway, since there is just the one game and the options also do nothing. But a good opportunity to recreate the original title screen. I do appreciate that. So straight away, anyone who's ever played the original game will just straight away know that this has been faithfully recreated down to the millimeter. Just the way that it pans through the intro to just the character models, the design. But obviously it just looks fantastic. Obviously he's a talented artist as well as the people who contributed to the project. And I think he's fulfilled his aim of making the game look like it belongs on modern, like next-gen consoles, like the PlayStation 5 that he specifically mentioned. And not only does it look great, but it also plays great. You can do all the same things you can in the OG game. You can climb up the trees, you can run, you can jump, you can even crawl around, try to be stealthy. You do only have access to the baton and the net, but I believe that's all you have access to in the original game anyway. And yeah, the objective is exactly the same. You just have to basically knock the monkeys out and capture them. We don't have to knock them out, but obviously that's a lot easier than just trying to straight up, swat them as you're running around. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say otherwise. It's kind of, one thing I will say, and this is like a really small nitpicky thing, but there's just no easy way to actually exit the game. There's no like shutdown option. You have to Alt F4 it or Control Tab and close it through Windows, but whatever, doesn't matter. The game itself plays fine. The frame rate is fine. I think the frame rate does dip a little bit in the recording, but I think that's just because of the recording software. I didn't notice it glitch, skip any frames or anything like that when I was actually playing. So props to our friend Dan Booz. He's obviously a gifted programmer as well. The game just runs how it's supposed to. I don't know how many different ways I can say that. And it looks fantastic. So I would highly recommend you going into the description and just giving this a go yourself, because as I said, it's free. Although it looks like you might need a somewhat beefy computer to run it. I don't think he gives recommended computer specifications to play it, but considering how good it looks, I don't think this is going to run on a potato. Now, I couldn't help myself. As I said, I do love this game dearly, so I hopped on into the other room and I fired up Ape Escape, and yeah, I just had to compare it basically, so just so it's fresh in my mind. So let me just bring up that footage real quick, see if I can bring up any hot takes. So there you go, like the panning shots are almost identical. He's obviously played this over and over and over. Obviously the interface is a little bit different, but it's pretty faithful, I would say. Oh, the bananas are there as well, so the monkeys will run around and they'll throw the banana and trip you up, like the idiot human you are. I like his, obviously the enemies look a little bit different. Obviously he's come up with a bit of a artistic impression of that for the next gen. That's totally fine, I think. But and I think it's fair to say that this was an amazing looking game for the time. I think it still does look good. So yeah, to see it on next gen, it makes me a very happy person indeed. So yeah, I'm starting to have gaps in my sentences, just like that. Good physical joke there. No, not really. Yeah, I just want. I can't think of anything more else to say. It'd be great if he created the whole game from scratch, but I don't think that's going to happen. Obviously, this is just a proof of concept. But thank you so much for watching my little video. Just for the regulars out there, I just want to add a little thing onto the end here that's unrelated to Ape Escape, even though I could talk about Ape Escape to the end of the earth. You may remember my Vectrex mini project that I released a few videos back. That's actually kind of gone a little bit viral, which is pretty surprising to me. But yeah, Gizmodo actually picked up on it. So it was originally posted on Hackaday, and I'll let you on a little secret. It was actually me that, sent that to them, but it's not really a secret because I created a project page for it and then sent it through the tip lines that they have there. So anyway, they wrote about it, but Gizmodo picked it up off of them, and then plenty of other people have been writing about it based on the Gizmodo article. So super psyched about that. Been mentioned in a couple of podcasts just released this weekend. There's the Retro Hour, which is these are actually both British podcasts I'm talking about, but the Retro Hour mentioned in theirs, as well as having a mind blank. This Week in Retro. I was about to check it on my phone. I don't know why, but I'm a big podcast listener, so I'd highly recommend both of those podcasts. They're favourites of mine, and to hear my name get mentioned in my channel and my project get talked about by these hosts, yeah, absolutely cool. This Week in Retro, that's run by RMC, as well as an Australian fellow who runs his own YouTube channel here. He's actually based in Perth. Actually, I shouldn't say he's Australian. It's kind of the running joke. He's actually English, but he's lived in Australia for decades. So, but yeah, anyway, check that out. And lastly, I'm probably getting a spread written about me in a Raspberry Pi magazine called The Magpie. Not the bird, but it's a magazine all about the Raspberry Pi. They sent me an email the other day. I filled out a little questionnaire for them and sent them some high resolution photos, including my ugly mug. So hopefully there should be they said it should be a 2-page spread of the project in print in a magazine. So you can be assured that I'll be probably framing that because I'm proud as punch. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around for this little bit as I sort of talk about my accomplishments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.